Waiting for this to turn on. Give me a second. Good evening, everyone. This is Enrique Sanchez of Spanish United Radio. Tonight, we have a very special guest on the show. Would you be kind enough to introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Sure. I'm Phil Brock. I'm the mayor of Santa Monica, California.
Welcome. Thank you for being on the show, Mayor. I've been following the news with the current events in the city of Santa Monica in relation to homelessness and crime. So we like to know on Spanish United audience, what's the issue of the condition of homelessness in the city of Santa Monica, and what as U.S. mayor is doing to address the issue of homelessness and crime in the city of Santa Monica.
Well, let's first take homelessness. We do have a significant amount of homeless individuals that have entered our city. And we're surrounded, if you may recall or may know, we're surrounded on three sides by the city of Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we are the end of Route 66, the fabled Route 66.
Mm-hmm.
We have a light rail line that comes directly into downtown Santa Monica. The E line used to be the E line used to be the Expo line. And we have a significant amount of bus traffic between other parts of Los Angeles, Santa Monica as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, plus the Santa Monica Freeway comes directly into downtown Santa Monica and then keeps going out toward Malibu.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've always had homeless individuals in Santa Monica.
Mm-hmm.
My mother is a Santa Monican, also born here. And my mother said they used to call them bums and hobos back in the 40s and 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always been an issue. The difference is now the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So you used to have bums and hobos, alcoholics. You had just people who were homeless, but never bothered anyone.
Right.
That's all changed. Now you have homeless individuals that are on fentanyl, on meth, on tranq, and they are acting erratically. They've developed mental health symptoms if they didn't have it before.
Mm-hmm.
They started taking the opioids and the other drugs. They have it now.
Mm-hmm.
That's become a problem. So yes, we have a homeless issue in our city.
Yeah.
I need help from the state of California, the federal government, and the county of Los Angeles. We're a city of 94,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
In Santa Monica. We have 6 homeless people, homeless individuals who enter our city via the light rail or trains every hour.
Mm-hmm.
Approximately 6,000 enter the city over the course of 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So we have an issue. The light rail at the end of the night, I'll be there on Friday night to see the end of the line as they remove people from the train. We estimate we get 50 to 75 additional homeless people at night
Mm-hmm.
from the light rail. So yeah, first of all, we have a homeless issue in the city. Now, our police manage it. I need more street side Salvation Army workers, people like that.
Mm-hmm.
They would talk to the homeless to try and get them into rehab, get them off our streets, get them in the temporary housing, or call their families and see if they can go back to their own city, and we'd pay for them to go back.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a number of things we're doing. Just this year, I've started 3 new programs in Santa Monica. One is a pathway home, and we have currently we have 40 formerly homeless people in that what was a motel,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all guaranteed that they'll get permanent housing within 90 days. Those people are people who are really down on their luck.
Mm-hmm.
Who really, one lady, the mother had breast cancer, no insurance, lost her job, lost her apartment trying to stay alive. She and her grown daughter were living in a car for the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
We got them into temporary housing. We'll get them into permanent housing.
Mm-hmm.
Another gentleman had 4 types of major cancers.
Oh, wow.
And he was been on the street in Santa Monica for a couple of years. We were able to give him a motel room. That'll translate into an apartment somewhere in Los Angeles County.
Mhm.
Secondly, we now have, through the auspices of LA County, a mobile psychiatric van that's supposed to be out in our city patrolling if someone's acting erratically, having a breakdown, suicidal, whatever it may be. They're supposed to work with that individual and try and get get their life stabilized and help them. Unfortunately, the county was supposed to give them to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Mhm.
Instead, they gave it to us 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, which means if you're having a mental health episode, you can only have it during weekdays.
Right.
That's wrong. So I need more help from others. The vast majority of homeless individuals in the city are fine. They're doing their drugs, or they're trying to get by, or sleeping on the beach.
Mhm.
Our police are doing a much better job trying to clear those areas and make sure that the ones who want to cause harm don't cause harm to anyone else. So we're working on it, but it is significantly more than other cities have, besides, let's say, LA, Venice, Oakland, San Francisco, which have
Mhm.
tremendous amounts of drug induced homelessness, as well as people who are just down their luck and need help. So we
Right.
want to show compassion toward those people.
Of course.
At the same time, I want to show compassion toward the business owners in the city and the residents in the city. It
Right.
has to be, we have to lead with compassion, but we also have to have rules. Secondly, you
Absolutely.
talked about public safety. Well,
Mhm.
uh, the city of Los Angeles is short 2,000 police officers right now,
Mhm.
short 2,000 police officers. So they're not able to put as many police on their streets as they need to take care of the issues that are happening in their city.
Mhm.
96% of the crime that happens in Santa Monica comes from outside the city.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's a huge problem because, we're not in the Republican candidates' parlance. We don't build walls.
Right.
Santa Monica, we welcome everyone.
Mhm.
But that's caused problems. So we had a horrible incident Monday morning, which is probably what you were referring to at the top of the show.
Mhm.
It is a sex offender, homeless, who was on our beach. He he tried to rape a 17-year-old a girl on our beach who was
Right.
just cleaning herself in the
Right.
morning at 9:45.
Mhm.
Um, a homeless woman, pulled the guy off her. Um, he hit that woman in the face, bit her on the ear, and tried to pull her underwear down.
Right.
He went back to the first lady, the first juvenile, and tried again. They managed to yell and scream enough that he left them, went down the boardwalk to the water, saw a Canadian tourist, and he grabbed her gold chain and then dragged her 40 feet, dragged her
Mhm.
down to the water and tried to drown her.
Oh, wow.
Now, this is 9:45 in the morning, but look at this is happening everywhere now, and it's terrible.
Mhm.
This person had an extensive rap sheet and should have been in jail. Should not have been on our streets.
Mhm.
Registered sex offender. His last offense was trying to. In fact, give me 1 second, I'll pull that up.
Sure, be my
But
guest.
this person's rap sheet is extensive. You can't have people like that on our streets because they can't cope in the outside world right now.
No, of
So
course not.
what the issues we're having with crime are directly related first to our district attorney in LA County, who
Mhm.
is letting many people just walk,
George
having
Gascon.
issues. Huh?
George Gascon.
Yes. Uh, and that's a real problem. So this guy, yesterday, he's now in jail finally. He's under $1 million bail. He got for the juvenile victim yesterday morning, attempted murder and felony child abuse. Victim 2, which was the homeless lady, he assaulted with intent to commit rape, and also, as I said, hit her. So that's 2 felonies. And then the third felony, one, the older lady, was attempted murder and kidnapping.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy has been in jail, or not in jail, he has been convicted of assault with intent to commit rape, false imprisonment, assault with a deadly weapon with a firearm, domestic violence, another domestic violence charge, assault with a deadly weapon, not a firearm, so probably a knife, theft, trespassing, assault with the intent to commit sexual assault. Now, and failing to register as a sex offender. Those are among the charges.
Mm-hmm.
He was arrested by LAPD, attempting oral copulation through force, and was charged and convicted for assault with the intent to commit sexual assault. He was placed not in jail, but on probation. So currently, he was on formal probation, and he was again arrested twice more and released with a citation, like a traffic ticket,
Right.
to appear. And this was his first encounter with Santa Monica Police Department. He had been doing all this in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have crime.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of high profile things that happen. The vast majority of Santa Monicans and the visitors to the city walk around our city with no fear, no worry about crime.
Mm-hmm.
But you're in a big city.
Right.
If we were somewhere in a small town in Nebraska, we probably wouldn't worry about crime as much.
Right.
Most of us in big cities are taught to be careful.
Of course.
Always be a little bit wary.
Right.
When 96% of the criminal acts come from LA, I need Los Angeles to step up too. Our police are catching bad guys.
Right.
I want our police to prevent crime, stop it from happening. And I want our neighboring city to step up and do their share too. That also includes the judges in LA County and the district attorney.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I would characterize it like this: if you had a 2-year-old son or daughter and you're walking down the street and they break out of your grasp and they start running into the street while you breathlessly try and stop your son or daughter from being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
When you get back to the curb, you're going to have a discussion with that young child, say you're never going to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our court system right now in LA is not doing that at all.
Right. Yeah, the problem is right now with the court system has gotten too politicized, unfortunately, and public safety has gotten politicized. Like a couple of months ago, I attended the district attorney debate where George Gascon and a few other candidates were speaking, and even though George Gascon is a controversial figure, public safety should not be politicized. Public safety, it has to do with protecting the welfare of the public. It's like when a criminal commits a crime, they don't say, "Excuse me, sir, are you Republican or Democrat?" They are an equal opportunity offender. So we need to have common sense.
Absolutely, and know that many times the victims of crime are Hispanic or Latina. This is a big problem, and it's also African Americans who are the victims of crime, and they have the least amount of money to cope with a theft. Their families are distraught. They're distraught. So look, I want order in our streets, and I want people to be able to live in Santa Monica, to visit our great city without fear. I want them to look out at the sunset at the Pacific Ocean, stand under a palm tree, and feel that, wow, this is a wonderful place to be.
Yes,
I've been to Santa Monica many times. Yeah, look, I'm not someone who's going to lie to the public or just put a little shine on. We have problems right now, and while we're doing the best we can, I'll give you an example of something that happened about a week ago.
Mhm,
A criminal broke a skylight, came in through the skylight into a business to rob the business in the middle of the night.
mhm,
Well, the alarms went off, and luckily Santa Monica police got there and they arrested him.
mhm,
The DA ordered him released.
mhm,
3 days later, he's setting fires in our neighborhoods. He shouldn't have been released. He was caught, inside someone's store having broken through the skylight. Why
mhm.
would any reasonable person say he just gets a citation and is told to come back in a month or two?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. And criminals now know it doesn't deter them from doing the next act because they know they can get away with it.
Right.
So we're adding more police as quickly as we can to the city. We have homeless teams and mental health teams out, and unarmed police as well in our streets in the city. We're starting to put in more technology. So we'll have an ALPR
Mhm,
system, automated license plate reader
mhm,
system. So if you've stolen a car and you're coming into Santa Monica to do damage, we'll be able to know you're in the city and stop you.
mhm.
We're adding drones to police capabilities so that if the license plate reader goes off, you can be assured there'll be a drone overhead within 2 minutes.
Oh, that's
And then
impressive.
and then police officers can then converge from there, trap you, take away the stolen car, arrest you, make sure you haven't stolen anything. Beverly Hills does a great job with that. We're playing
Mhm.
catch up to Beverly Hills and other cities, but it's going to help.
Oh,
And 20
absolutely.
years ago, everyone would have gone, "Oh my God, you're taking pictures," or there's a camera, and it would have been all about civil rights.
Right.
But now it's normal and customary that if you're not doing anything wrong, who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares if you're on tape doing something? So
Of course. Yes, absolutely. And I feel that with proper planning and good management, I think the city will do well. One of the things that we do in Spanish United is that we are heavily involved in looking after the benefit and the welfare of the Hispanic community because
good.
among many circles, especially among the far right, they like to say that Hispanics are the ones committing most of the crimes.
And that's absolutely not true.
Hmm.
Uh, I was in Northern California at a conference 2 weeks ago, and my taxi driver, who was an immigrant
Hmm.
from the Ukraine, I'm
Hmm.
happy he's here, not in the Ukraine anymore.
Hmm.
But he spent the 30 minutes on the way to the airport talking to me about, oh, immigrants are just pouring across the border, and they're all robbing and thieving. And I told him, I I was born here in Santa Monica. I've been in Santa Monica all my life.
Hmm.
My friends, neighbors are Hispanic origin,
Hmm.
hardest working people I've ever met. When they come to the United States, they're not looking to do damage to a city.
Right.
They're looking to raise money to send home to their families, to have a better life, to be able to bring their families here, to live without fear,
Exactly.
to live not in El Salvador or Nicaragua or parts of Mexico where people may do them harm.
Right,
They're
of
coming
course.
here to escape from all that. And I'll tell you, yes, there are Mexican gangs, there are black gangs, and there are white gangs. It is what it is.
Right.
But uh, my contractor is Latino origin. So many people I know are, and they've worked harder than people of my color have worked
Hmm.
to try and get ahead. And I taught in downtown Los Angeles for a while.
Hmm.
So I taught at both Lincoln High in East LA and Brendo Middle School in the Pico Union area.
Hmm.
And my first career, I was a teacher and a
Right.
coach. And I've never seen any group of people who worked as hard as they did, who pushed their children to be
Hmm.
in school to have a better life than they had had.
Right.
So I reject all that.
And that's the thing that we're trying to do is spread education and awareness that Hispanic people do contribute and do a lot of good for society. Like we're in the process of trying to get a community center to set up a pilot program to educate non-Hispanics about the plight of Hispanic people in the United States. Like Hispanics are one of the most persecuted minorities in the United States, but they tend to be the most silenced because of the issues of immigration, status, etc. And we try to do what we can to advocate for them.
And that's one reason why, and they got a lot of heat for it, but LA police made sure they would never ask anyone for immigration papers,
Right.
as they wanted people who were victims of crime to come forward. And that was so important.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
former mayor of LA, I was with him on Saturday, and a couple hours ago, he sent me a message that he wants to talk further. Antonio Villagrosa,
Hmm.
and you he was our second Hispanic mayor,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, I had the pleasure to speak with him a few months ago. He was a very nice guy, very interesting to talk to.
yeah, no, he's a really good guy and
Mm.
cares deeply about the community, all communities,
Right.
but remembers where he came from as well.
Exactly. I think it's very important that people can, become part of the American society, but not to forget where they come from, because that's where we get our identity from. So I try to encourage many Hispanic and Hispanic Americans that even though they assimilate and they move up to reach the American dream, that doesn't mean that they forget where they come from. They should
Always remember
embrace
your
it.
heritage. Always remember your heritage,
Absolutely.
because that's what helps form you. And even generations later, when you're fully assimilated American, it doesn't matter.
Of course.
Remember your people. Remember, I happen to serve with three Hispanic council members on the Santa Monica City Council.
Hmm.
It's the most we've ever had, and I'm very proud to serve with them. But and one of the things about that is not only to see where they've come from, but they're also talking about their heritage. Councilmember De La Torre will tell me what part of Mexico he's from.
Hmm.
So he hasn't forgotten, even though he was born here, his parents were immigrants.
Right.
Uh, Council member Parra is Mexican and Argentinian.
Hmm.
She knows both sides of her heritage.
Hmm.
And I think that's important that they represent, that they have a different life experience than I do,
Right. Of course.
and have had different trials and tribulations than I have, or the next person would have.
Right.
And
Of
what
course.
ideally doesn't always work, but ideally, what makes America strong is that synthesis of ideas from all over the world,
Hmm.
and that even though each generation has its own trials and issues, but overall, that's where we all become a better people for it.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel that when immigrants come to the United States and to us and become part of the country, they can bring a view to how the United States can deal better with other countries, because Americans only know so much by how they're educated and what they learn. But when outsiders or foreigners come and they become part of the American society, they could bring an outlook on how to have better relations with other countries. Like Hispanic immigrants, for example, or Hispanic Americans can serve as a bridge to how the United States could have a better relationship with Latin America and have a better relationship with the United States. Because as you know, historically, there's been past grievances with the Monroe Doctrine, the Platt Agreement, and
Going all
different.
the way back to the 1840s.
Exactly. So that could be a way to function as a bridge to have better relations between both sides.
And Mexico today is more advanced than we are. They have a female president.
Yes, yes, and a Jewish president.
Yeah, that part I was really, when I started reading about it, I was actually very surprised at that. But if you look at Mexico City is a very blended place.
Yes, I've been there. It's a huge metropolis with urban sprawl.
Yeah, too much urban sprawl.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I want to tell you, Mayor, it was an honor to have you here on the show, and thank you for being on the show. And for anyone on your council that wants to reach out to me, we are on all the social media platforms. We are on Spanish United, Facebook, Twitter, now known as X, Instagram, YouTube, and anyone that wants to reach out to me on direct message, feel free to reach out. And when I'm finished, I will email you the link, and you could share it with all of your colleagues.
Yeah, send me the link so when it comes out, I'll be able to look at it and then I can blast it on social media as well.
Definitely, absolutely, Mayor. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for asking me to appear on your show.
Likewise, have yourself a wonderful
Bye
evening.
bye.
Bye bye.